All right, so let's go ahead and add some dimensions. And we want to stick with the dimensions that we are showing in the drawing, okay? So, again, if you have questions about this properties menu, a lot of this stuff was covered in the modules in week 1 and week 2. So I would have to refer you back to week 1 and week 2 to re-review the coursework that's in those modules, okay? So, let's see something right here. Vimstyle, V-I-M-S-T-Y-L-E. You type that word in and click right here. And you want to make sure that you're in feet and inches. So you click modify. It's in architectural precision, primary units, okay? Alternate units. So right now it is in feet and inches. Layer. All of the symbols and arrows look correct. The text looks correct. Primary units, architectural, precision. Let's change the precision to, let's just say 1/2 inch. Okay. And the tolerances, we don't really need to have that set. The default setting is just fine. All right. So let's go ahead and close this. All right. And on the annotate tab, the reason why I wanted you to use that template, the Dftg 1309 project template, is because I have all of these dim styles, these dimension styles set up. All right, so click CSRS 24, and then click the dimension tool right here. Let's go ahead and click here and see what that gives us. So that's 3'0", like we actually drew it. I think the dimension is a little small, so you can select the dimension and go back up to this guy right here. We selected CSRS 24. Let's try 16. I think 16 is even smaller than 24. Yes, it is. Or it's the same as 24. So you want to get familiar with these and just toggle through them and see which one actually works best. That's a good one. Let's try the one. There it is. So you want your setting to be on CFA 1-4. And that'll give us a dimension that's good enough for us to see. So click dimension again. And if you want to do a different type of dimension, all of your different dimension types are here. We covered this in the past. You have to go back and revisit module 2 and 3 if you need to brush up your skill sets there. But make sure you have linear selected. And let's go ahead and, okay. Now what happened? This guy is still set to CSRS 24. Now, 2 ways you can do this. And this guy is set to what? CFA 1-4. You can go back and select the linear dimension tool and change it before you dimension it to CFA 1-4. And then you could just add that dimension. All right. Or if you didn't want to do that, you can type in MA for match properties, hit the spacebar to activate it, select the dimension line that you'd like to keep, and then select the dimension line that you would like to change, okay? In AutoCAD, there's 100 ways to do one thing. Just be mindful of that, okay? You have to find out which way works best for you. And the only way that is going to come is by you guys putting in the reps, doing it yourself, spending some time with AutoCAD outside of class time, okay? So let's go ahead and select the linear dimension tool again, CFA 1-4. Click here and click here. Let's drag this to the center like that. All right. And let's go ahead and hit the space bar to reactivate the dimension tool. Let's drop a dimension right here. That's 2'4". And the model does not reflect this, but the model does not reflect this, but we're going to go ahead and add a line dimension. So when you click this guy, you need to go ahead and tell it what type of dimension you want. So for here, for this guy, for this angle right here, we're going to do an align dimension. So you click here and click here. You see how it's aligned to the angle? You guys can just drop it in there, something like that. Now, typically there are ways that we actually dimension parts. In fact, let's do it that way for this video, because this bothers me. You have this 4-0 here and this 3-0 here. So let's take this one off. Let's take that one off. Okay. And let's do your 3-0. Let's go back to linear. Let's do your 3-0 here. and drag it down, okay? And you can highlight the dimension and take this grip and pull it down because I don't like dimension lines running through the part. You can see where it's leading to, okay? And then let's do another dimension line from here. Click on this dimension and click the end of this part, like in the center right here, and pull it down, okay? Wait, it's snap differently. Delete that. Sometimes it happens. So let's go ahead and snap here. And then you want to snap here. And you want to take that dimension and just pull it up right there. Doesn't snap, that's fine. There it is. So let's go ahead and highlight that dimension. And let's pull it to the end right here, down to the beginning of the radius, like that. And now let's go ahead and activate the dimension tool again. And let's do an overall dimension. All right, 14 feet. So now let's go ahead and take this and drag it down to keep our model clean. Let's select this guy and drag it down as well to keep it clean. And let's go ahead and draw this dimension right here. So you'll go back and hit the dimension tool, click here, you can snap it here, okay? And then let's take, and this is something that's not in the model, but I just want to show it right now because, you know, we want to make sure we're dimensioning things properly. So snap here. Okay. And then give me an overall on this side. So from here to the top of this guy, that'll give you the overall. All right. So that's pretty much how I would like you to dimension it. So we already know the overall. I think the model, they had a dimension here, so we can drop one in here. Okay. And then we could give a dimension to this radius right here. So you would go here and change this to radius. And when you click there, the radius will pop up. And now let's go and change this to diameter. I'm sorry, leave it on radius. So activate the radius command again. Click there. Let's see. Let's go back and make sure I have radius selected. Okay, radius. Yes. So you have a radius there. Okay. And sometimes these dimensions will overlap. So you may have to do something like this. I like to take it and pull it out like that, just to, you know, make it cleaner. And you can take this line right here and type in, take this and move it in some. There's several things you could do here. You could do it just, I want to see you do it just like that. That way it's very clean, okay? Well, actually, let's move it down some so we can show that it's actually dimensioning that radius. So right there is fine, okay? Now at the top we want to do diameter, so you want to come here and you want to select diameter and click this line here. No, not rotate dimension. Power line. Okay, and there is your diameter. So, you know, I just wanted to show you guys what the align, how the align dimension tools work. Let's go ahead and delete it from there for clarity because it just kind of distorts the drawing, right? And right here, the drawing is a bit distorted. A lot of times with these diameters and these radiuses, you'll have to explode it. So let's type in, select this line right here and type in explode, E-X-P-L-O-D-E. Explode. Boom. Now that line is exploded, and you can trim that line now. TR, spacebar, spacebar. Let's clean it up to define the lines. All right. So really, this is all you need to see. Okay, and you can take this and delete it. And you can take this and delete it to get rid of some of that distortion. And same thing here. Select the line, hit the space bar to reactivate the explode command. Or sometimes it will delete. That was the last command that we used. So type in explode, E-X-P-L-O-D-E. You want to select this line, hit the space bar to activate it. Now your line is exploded. TR, space bar to trim it. Then you want to do the same thing. Select the line, E-X-P-L-O-D-E. And TR, space bar to trim it. And there you go. So now the drawing is very clean. And let's go ahead and hit F8 to turn the ortho off. Let's just stretch this line out just a little bit. Make sure you're in line with that line as much as possible. Yeah. Clarity is very important. You want to make sure that your drawings are legible. Okay? So that's pretty much your part right there. Now, let's go ahead and take this drawing and set it up on a sheet. This was the sheet that we set up before, okay? And this is an XREF, so I'm going to delete